The orbiting station hung silently above the lavender clouds of planet Kalara. Its metal walls glinted in the reflection of the distant sun, and the hum of energy coursing through the station echoed softly through the corridors. Yet, despite the usual calm of a space station, chaos erupted daily in one particular sector. The Dragon Nursery was a special place, built to house Kalara's rare dragon-like creatures. Their scales shimmered in colors humans had no names for, and their eyes glowed softly, like lanterns in the dark. They were not ordinary dragons, they were small, fragile cubs, recently hatched, and their cries could pierce through the thick metal walls of the station. No one could calm them. Not the alien caretakers, not the automatic sound dampening systems, not even the pheromone sprays designed to soothe wild creatures. The cubs screamed endlessly, day and night, and the continuous noise caused machinery to malfunction. Energy conduits vibrated unpredictably, lights flickered, and the alien scientists worried that their critical experiments would fail. Station Commander Rin, a tall alien with blue-scaled skin, sighed as he watched another team of caretakers leave the nursery in defeat. "It is impossible," he muttered. "These cubs, they are unlike anything we have managed before." Nearby, a small human figure stepped off the elevator, adjusting her tool belt and wiping grease from her hands. Lena Carter, the station's new human mechanic, had just arrived from Earth. She was young, quick-witted, and not afraid of strange, alien creatures. She had fixed failing engines, malfunctioning airlocks, and even a broken communications array during the journey. But screaming dragon cubs? That was something new. Lena paused outside the nursery, listening. The screams were like a storm of piercing whistles, high and raw, vibrating through her chest. Yet, she noticed something the aliens hadn't. Amid the chaos, the cubs weren't just screaming at random, they were reacting to each other. Their cries were almost musical. "Hello," she said softly to the nearest alien caretaker, a creature with 4 arms and soft green scales. "Has anyone tried music?" The alien blinked its large eyes. "Music? We tried lullabies in your language, mechanical vibrations, and even calming pheromones. Nothing works." Lena nodded slowly. "I have an idea. Maybe they need something simpler. Something human." She entered the nursery carefully. The cubs twisted and turned, shrieking louder as they noticed her small figure among the large alien staff. Lena didn't flinch. She crouched slowly, watching the cubs. Their wings fluttered nervously, their tails lashed back and forth, and their eyes glimmered with fear and confusion. Then, Lena did something no one expected. She began humming. A soft, simple tune, almost like a lullaby from Earth. She didn't use words, just the vibration of her voice, low and steady. At first, nothing happened. The cubs screamed louder, almost in protest. But then, one small cub paused mid-cry. Its glowing eyes focused on Lena. The other cubs noticed too, but continued their cacophony. The alien caretakers gasped. "Impossible! One cub is quiet?" Lena smiled gently. "It's not magic," she whispered. "They respond to emotion. Calm energy, gentle sounds. That's all." For a few long moments, the cubs stared at her, then let out a small, hesitant whimper instead of a scream. Lena continued humming, her tune rising and falling softly. Slowly, the other cubs' cries grew softer. They shifted closer to her, curious rather than terrified. Commander Rin stepped forward, his 4 arms folding in surprise. "Human, this is remarkable. How do you do it?" Lena shrugged. "I just hum. I guess it feels safe to them. Maybe my voice reminds them of the sound of heartbeat or something familiar. That's what babies like, right?" The aliens exchanged glances. They were skilled in science, engineering, and xenobiology, but something as simple as a human tune had calmed creatures they could not handle, with all their technology. Over the next hour, Lena experimented carefully. She hummed higher, then lower. She clapped softly, tapped the floor, and even let the vibration of her own footsteps resonate through the room. The cubs responded differently to each sound, but always in a gentle, curious way. One cub, a tiny blue-scaled creature with orange eyes, crawled toward her slowly, its wings trembling. Lena extended her hand, humming softly. The cub sniffed her fingers, then nuzzled gently. The room fell silent except for the soft hum. For the first time, the alien staff saw the cubs' true personalities, not just screaming monsters, but playful, curious, and intelligent creatures. I have never seen anything like this," said one caretaker quietly. "They trust her." Lena laughed softly. "Humans have a lot of tools," she said. "Not just machines. Sometimes, understanding is enough." Commander Rin watched Lena and the cubs, a mixture of awe and disbelief in his eyes. "We underestimated humans," he admitted. "Your empathy, your patience, it is effective." Just then, the station alarm blared. A bright red light flashed across the control panels. A meteor cluster was heading straight toward Kalara. The cubs' energy conduits, already sensitive, could become unstable under such stress. If the cubs screamed in panic, it might overload the station's shielding system. Lena looked at the alarm, then back at the cubs. Her mind worked quickly. The humming had calmed them. But could it synchronize their energy enough to stabilize the station during the meteor storm? Her heart raced. "Stay calm," she whispered to the cubs, lowering herself to their level. She began humming, louder, clearer, more confident. The cubs tilted their heads, as if understanding her words. Their cries softened further. The alien caretakers watched in amazement. Lena's simple human tune had more power than any technology they had brought to the nursery. She was not just calming them, she was connecting with them, bridging the gap between species. The station shook slightly as the first meteor struck the upper atmosphere. Lights flickered, machinery groaned, and distant alarms echoed through the halls. But the nursery remained a calm pocket of sound. The cubs huddled closer to Lena, wings tucked, eyes glowing softly, resonating gently with the hum. Commander Rin turned to Lena. "Human, you may have just saved the station." Lena smiled, though she felt the weight of responsibility. "We'll see," she said. "We're just getting started." For the first time since the cubs hatched, the nursery was quiet, safe, and alive with gentle curiosity. Lena realized that this was more than just calming baby dragons. It was the beginning of something larger. Humans could connect with alien creatures in ways technology never could. The cubs, once screaming endlessly, now began exploring their nursery gently. They climbed over each other, tested the vibrations of the floor, and responded to Lena's hum with tiny chirps and soft wing flutters. "I think they like you," said one caretaker, smiling. "More than any of us ever could." Lena chuckled softly. "Maybe humans are lucky that way. We learned to listen first." As the meteor storm raged outside, Lena hummed, and the cubs' gentle resonance formed a protective rhythm that helped stabilize the station's energy. She didn't know exactly how it worked, just that trust, patience, and a simple tune could accomplish miracles. And somewhere deep in her heart, Lena knew this was only the first of many challenges. The cubs were just the beginning. And the bond she was forming with them could change everything humans thought about their place in the universe. For now, she let the hum continue, letting her voice and heart guide the cubs. The screaming had stopped. The chaos had ended. And humanity had proven once again that sometimes the simplest solution was also the most powerful. The dragon nursery hummed with a new energy. The cubs, once screaming without end, now moved with curiosity. Their eyes glimmered like lanterns, reflecting the soft light of the station, and their wings twitched gently. Lena Carter stood among them, humming the same gentle tune she had discovered the day before. Her voice filled the room like a warm wind, soft and steady. The alien caretakers watched in awe. They had never seen the cubs so calm, so responsive. Every sound, every vibration, seemed to matter. Lena noticed subtle differences. A higher pitch calmed some cubs, while a lower hum soothed others. Her eyes scanned the small creatures, learning their individual personalities in real time. "This is remarkable," said one caretaker, a green-scaled female with 4 arms, named Yara. "No one has ever been able to understand them like this." Lena smiled. "It's not just understanding. It's patience. And emotion. They respond to what they feel, not just what they hear." Yara tilted her head. "Feel human emotion?" Yes," Lena replied softly. "They sense calm, comfort, warmth. That's why my tune works. They trust the feeling behind the sound, not the sound itself." The cubs shifted closer. One small blue-scaled dragon nuzzled Lena's hand, its tiny claws brushing her glove. Another curled around her ankle, purring a soft vibration that mixed with her humming. The connection was real, and the alien staff could see it. Yet the calm was fragile. Outside the nursery, the station faced new challenges. The meteor storm, over Kailara, continued, sending small tremors through the station's structure. The cubs' energy conduits, already sensitive, reacted unpredictably to sudden vibrations. If the cubs panicked again, the station's shield systems could fail. Commander Rin's voice came through the intercom. "Lena, your presence in the nursery is vital. We need the cubs' energy stable. Do not leave them." Lena nodded. "I understand. I'll stay." She adjusted her tool belt and crouched among the cubs, humming a soft, rolling tune. Her eyes followed every movement, every twitch, every flick of a tail. Hours passed. The cubs learned to respond to her rhythms. A flick of her finger, a tap of her foot, a gentle hum. It all influenced their reactions. Some cubs followed her movements like dancers in a slow ballet, their wings creating tiny currents in the air. Others leaned against her, absorbing the vibrations like a warm blanket. It was then that Lena noticed something even more extraordinary. The cubs were communicating with each other, not with words, but with a rhythm of chirps and hums. Their cries formed patterns, almost like music. Lena began to mirror these patterns, humming them back. The cubs' eyes widened, and they stopped crying entirely. The aliens gasped. "She is..." "Yes," Lena said. "It's not words, but rhythm." Meanwhile, the rival faction of alien engineers from Station Theta observed from afar. They were skeptical of humans, convinced that emotional intelligence had no place in serious xenobiology. Yet even they had to admit Lena's influence over the cubs was undeniable. One of their lead engineers, a tall, silver-scaled male named Corin, muttered to his team, "This human, she is remarkable. I cannot believe a single voice can control them where all technology fails." Inside the nursery, Lena noticed a new behavior. One cub, a small orange-scaled dragon with wide, bright eyes, began following her movements. It mirrored her hums, almost like it was trying to sing along. Lena chuckled softly. "You're learning fast," she said, extending a hand. The cub nuzzled her palm. Then, an alarm sounded a soft warning, but urgent. Lena froze. A small meteor fragment had breached the outer shield of the station. It wasn't large enough to cause damage yet, but it sent vibrations through the nursery floor. The cub's energy conduits reacted instantly. One cub screamed, its cry piercing the calm. Others flinched, wings spreading in panic. Lena didn't panic. She dropped to her knees, placed her hands gently on the cubs, and hummed a new tune, louder, richer, flowing with confidence and reassurance. Slowly, the cubs' cries softened. One by one, they turned their eyes toward her, absorbing her calm energy. Yara watched in awe. Her voice, it stabilizes them. Yes, Lena said, continuing her hum. They trust me. And because they trust me, they trust themselves. Their energy flows evenly now. Hours passed as Lena worked with the cubs. She discovered subtle details about each one. Which cub preferred high tones? Which responded to slower vibrations? Which needed gentle touch? She noted everything in her small pad, drawing diagrams of wing movements and eye signals. By evening, the nursery was quiet, alive with gentle movement and soft hums. The cubs explored their environment, climbing small structures, testing their wings, and chirping in curiosity. Lena hummed along, creating a rhythm that synchronized with the cubs' energy patterns. The alien staff began to see a shift. Humans were not just mechanics, not just engineers, they were connectors. Their emotional intelligence could achieve what machines and chemicals could not. Lena was the proof. Commander Rin entered the nursery, his tall frame casting a shadow over the small dragons. Lena, the meteor storm is passing, but your work here is only beginning, he said. We need to understand them. Not just calm them, but communicate. Your methods may be the key. Lena nodded. I think they are trying to tell us something, she said, looking at the cubs. One cub chirped, then extended its small wing, brushing against her arm. Lena hummed a short, questioning tune. The cub responded with a different chirp, moving closer. What do you think it means? Yara asked, leaning forward. I'm not sure, Lena admitted. But they have a pattern. A way of sharing feelings. They aren't just creatures to manage. They are beings to understand. Meanwhile, outside the nursery, Corin and his team observed from a distance. They whispered among themselves, if the humans can connect with them, we must learn from this, or risk losing control of the dragons entirely, Corin said, his silver scales glinting in the soft light. Lena noticed something unusual as she hummed a faint glow around the cub's scales. It pulsed gently, in sync with her tune. She realized that her voice wasn't just calming them, it was enhancing their energy flow, stabilizing the conduits in a way no one had anticipated. This is incredible, Lena whispered to herself. It's like they're resonating with me. With me. The cubs, now fully attentive, circled her, tails brushing softly, wings flicking in tiny patterns. Lena hummed, a slow, flowing melody. The room seemed to breathe with them. She realized that human patience, combined with emotional understanding, could influence even the most alien life forms. The alien staff took notes furiously, documenting Lena's methods. The station's scientific director, a tall creature with silver markings across its face, nodded in approval. Your approach. It is revolutionary, it said. We have never considered emotional resonance as a method for xenobiology. You have changed everything. For the first time since she arrived, Lena felt a real connection. She was not just a mechanic fixing machines, she was a bridge between species. The cubs trusted her, and through her, the station was learning to trust them. As the day ended, the nursery glowed softly with the cubs' energy. Lena hummed a final, quiet tune, letting it fade into silence. The cubs curled around each other, eyes closed, wings tucked gently. Peace, for the first time, had settled in the dragon nursery. Lena stood and stretched. Her arms ached from kneeling and reaching, but her heart felt full. She had discovered something powerful. Humans had tools that no machine could replicate, tools of empathy, understanding, and calm presence. Commander Rin approached. You have done more than calm them, Lena, he said. You have shown us the future of human-alien cooperation. Lena smiled softly. I'm just listening. That's all it takes sometimes. Outside, the meteor storm passed, leaving the station intact. Yet Lena knew this was only the beginning. There were mysteries in the cubs' cries, secrets in their rhythms, and a bond waiting to grow stronger. And somewhere deep in the station, unseen by the humans, a larger dragon watched from above. Its eyes glowed, focused on Lena, curious and cautious. The cub's mother had arrived. The real adventure was about to begin. The station had never been so tense. The meteor storm over Kalara had passed, but small fragments still peppered the outer shields, sending vibrations through the metal floors. The cubs, usually calm around Lena, became restless at the faint tremors. Each quake made their tails flick, their wings flutter, and their cries spike higher. Lena crouched among them, humming softly. Her voice rose and fell like waves, gentle but firm. The cubs tilted their heads, listening, their glowing eyes reflecting the soft lights of the nursery. Slowly, one by one, they quieted. The aliens watched in awe. "It is unbelievable," Yara whispered. "No technology could manage this." "Yes," Lena replied, keeping her voice steady. "They respond to feeling. Calm energy. Trust. That is why my voice works. Machines cannot replicate it." But the relief was temporary. Sensors in the control room picked up an incoming meteor cluster, larger than the last. Commander Rin's face was grave as he spoke over the intercom. "Attention all stations. A major meteor wave is approaching Kalara. Shields will be under extreme stress. All personnel, prepare for impact." Lena's heart raced. The cubs' energy conduits were highly sensitive. If the cubs panicked during the storm, their screams could destabilize the shields. It was a perfect storm of chaos and danger. "I can help," Lena said quickly. "I'll keep the cubs calm. If they trust me, we can use their energy to stabilize the shields." Yara looked doubtful. "You think your humming can control them under that pressure?" "I don't know," Lena admitted, "but it's our best chance." The nursery became a command center of soft energy. Lena crouched in the center, arms extended to touch several cubs, her hum rising louder, clearer, and stronger. Her tune formed patterns, rhythms, and pulses that resonated with the cubs' natural energy. At first, it worked. The cubs responded, their glowing scales pulsing in harmony with her hum. Energy flowed from them into the conduits, stabilizing small systems around the nursery. Lena smiled. A small flicker of hope. Then the first fragment struck the station. The floor vibrated violently. One cub shrieked loudly, breaking the rhythm. Others followed, their panicked cries echoing through the nursery. Lena's heart pounded. She hummed louder, faster, improvising a melody she had never tried before. The cubs paused mid-cry, their glowing eyes fixed on her. Lena continued, weaving a rhythm that matched their energy. Slowly, the screaming faded into soft chirps and gentle purrs. One by one, they followed her lead, creating a harmonic resonance that spread through the energy conduits. The alien staff gasped. "She is controlling their energy flow," Yara whispered. "Yes," Lena said. "Not controlling. Guiding. They trust me. That is the difference." Hours passed as the meteor cluster battered the station. Lena never stopped humming, never stopped moving with the cubs. She learned to anticipate their reactions. A flick of the tail, a tilt of the head, a flare of wings. Each motion became part of her melody, part of the rhythm that kept the station alive. Outside the nursery, the shields strained under the meteor impact. Lights flickered, alarms rang, and machinery groaned. But thanks to Lena and the cubs, the conduits stabilized the energy flow. The shield remained intact, deflecting fragments and preventing major damage. Commander Rin entered the nursery, voice urgent, but filled with admiration. Lena, you are saving the station. Your human method? It works where technology fails. Lena nodded, still crouched among the cubs, her hum steady. We're a team, she said. Me and them. They trust me. And that makes all the difference. As the meteor storm reached its peak, Lena noticed something new. The cubs were beginning to communicate with each other more clearly. Their chirps and hums formed sequences, almost like a song. Lena began matching their rhythm, weaving her hums into their patterns. The energy flow stabilized further, and the shields held stronger than anyone had expected. In the control room, the alien engineers whispered among themselves. This human, she is remarkable, said Corin, the lead engineer from the rival faction. A single voice, and these creatures are synchronized. It is unprecedented. Back in the nursery, Lena noticed one cub behaving differently. A small, golden-scaled creature moved closer to her, chirping in a unique sequence. Lena hummed a questioning note, and the cub responded with a gentle vibration, wings fluttering softly. It was as if the cub was trying to communicate directly with her. Yara watched, fascinated. She is speaking with them. Not just calming, but understanding. Yes, Lena said, smiling. We are learning from each other. The meteor storm lasted through the night. Lena's hum never faltered, her hands never leaving the cubs. Slowly, the cluster of young dragons formed a perfect energy rhythm. Their glowing scales pulsed in unison, matching Lena's melody. The shields outside stabilized completely, absorbing the impacts without any major damage. By dawn, the storm had passed. The station was intact, the energy conduits stable, and the cubs, exhausted but safe, curled around Lena, wings folded, tails tucked, eyes half closed in trust. Commander Rin entered the nursery again, expression a mix of relief and amazement. Lena, your work tonight, it has saved countless lives. The station owes you and your companions a great debt. Lena smiled, brushing a small cub's head with her hand. They did most of the work, she said softly. I just guided them. Trust is powerful. It can do what technology cannot. Yara leaned closer, still observing the cubs. Human, you have changed how we see them. They are no longer chaotic creatures. They are intelligent, responsive, and capable of cooperation. Yes, Lena agreed. And humans have something unique. We can connect emotionally, and that can influence even alien life in ways machines never will. Outside the nursery, Corin and his team recorded the entire process. We must learn from this, he said, voice low. Human methods, combined with technology, may be the key to controlling and cooperating with these creatures. Lena noticed the cubs responding to her in ways she hadn't seen before. One chirped a pattern that seemed deliberate. She hummed back, improvising a sequence that matched it. The cub's tail flicked in rhythm, and another cub joined in, forming a layered sequence. Lena's melody, now intertwined with theirs. This is incredible, she whispered. They are teaching me their language. They are sharing with me. The aliens in the nursery realized something profound. Humans were not only mechanics or engineers, they were connectors, mediators, and guides. Lena had demonstrated that human intuition and emotional intelligence could succeed where technology alone could not. By midday, the cubs were fully calm, exploring their nursery with curiosity rather than fear. Lena hummed occasionally, soft and gentle, letting them lead their own energy flow. The aliens took notes, studying every movement, every sound, every interaction. Commander Rin approached Lena one last time. You have done more than calm them, he said. You have bridged a gap between species. Humans may have a greater role here than we ever imagined. Lena smiled, though she was tired from the night's work. We just need to listen, she said. patience, and understanding. That is how we connect with them. That is how we survive together. In the quiet nursery, Lena watched the cubs settle. One golden-scaled cub nuzzled her hand, while a blue one curled around her feet. The small dragons purred softly, wings brushing lightly against each other. Lena hummed a final, low tune, letting the melody linger in the warm air. Outside, the station shimmered in the light of Kalara's rising sun. The shields were intact, the station was safe, and humanity had proven its worth once again. Lena had discovered something greater than mechanical repair or technical skill. She had discovered the power of connection, the strength of trust, and the unique role humans could play in a galaxy filled with unknown life. Yet, as the cubs slept, a larger shadow moved outside the nursery window. A parent dragon hovered quietly, observing, curious but cautious. Its eyes glowed softly, reflecting the same patterns Lena had created with the cubs. The real test was yet to come. Lena glanced at the parent dragon, humming softly under her breath. She didn't know what challenges lay ahead, but she knew one thing. With trust, patience, and understanding, humans could achieve the impossible, even with creatures no one else could calm. And somewhere deep in the station, the bond between humans and dragons was beginning to grow stronger, promising adventures, mysteries, and discoveries beyond imagination. The dragon nursery had changed completely. What was once a chaotic room filled with screaming cubs now pulsed with soft hums and glowing scales. Lena Carter moved among the young dragons, humming quietly, her voice rising and falling like the gentle waves of a calm sea. Each cub followed her cues, wings fluttering softly, tails flicking rhythmically. The alien staff could barely believe the transformation. "I have never seen anything like this," Yara whispered to Commander Rin. "It is as if the human is part of them." "Yes," Rin said, watching Lena and the cubs. "She has formed a connection no technology could ever create." Lena smiled, crouching down to meet a small, golden-scaled cub, eye to eye. "Good morning," she whispered, humming a short tune. The cub chirped back in response, its wings lifting slightly. Lena's soft laugh filled the room. "You're learning, little one." The cubs were no longer afraid. They explored the nursery freely, climbing small structures, chasing each other, and occasionally brushing against Lena as if seeking guidance. Every movement they made seemed synchronized with her humming, their energy flowing gently into the conduits that powered the station's systems. But Lena noticed something unusual. The cubs' cries, when combined in patterns, seemed to carry more than simple emotion. They were messages. Chirps, hums, and tail flicks formed sequences, almost like a language. Lena watched closely, matching her humming to their patterns. Slowly, she began decoding small signals. One sequence repeated, a rising note followed by a quick trill. Lena mirrored it carefully. One of the cubs tilted its head, its glowing eyes widening. Another joined in, matching the rhythm perfectly. The cub's energy pulsed in harmony, as if acknowledging her attempt to communicate. "This is incredible," Yara said quietly. "She isn't just calming them, she is speaking with them." "Yes," Lena said. "They are trying to teach me, and I think they are capable of more than we thought." Outside the nursery, the station's sensors picked up unusual signals. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but unmistakable. A rival faction of alien engineers from Station Theta had sent scouts to observe Kalara's dragons. Their goal was to capture the cubs and take control of their energy conduits. Corin, their silver-scaled leader, watched from a hidden observation point. "The human is dangerous," he muttered. "If she learns to bond with the dragons fully, we will never control them. We must act before it is too late." Back in the nursery, Lena continued her work. She had discovered that some cubs preferred high-pitched hums, while others responded to slower, deeper tones. She experimented carefully, adjusting her melody to match each dragon's personality. The results were astonishing. The cubs' energy output became more stable, their movements more coordinated, and the nursery more peaceful than it had ever been. One cub, a small blue-scaled creature with bright orange eyes, began following Lena everywhere. It mirrored her hums perfectly, responding to even the slightest changes in pitch or rhythm. Lena extended her hand, and the cub nuzzled it gently. She hummed a soft, questioning tune, and the cub responded with a chirp and a small tail flick. "They understand me," Lena whispered, "and I understand them." Yara and Rin exchanged glances. "Humans truly are different," Yara said. "Your intuition, patience, and emotional intelligence. It is extraordinary." Lena nodded. "We have tools beyond machines. We can connect, listen, and respond. That is why we can work with creatures others cannot." The parent dragons, meanwhile, remained nearby, observing silently from outside the nursery window. Their eyes glowed softly, reflecting curiosity and caution. Lena sensed their presence and adjusted her humming. She began weaving a pattern that mirrored the cubs' rhythms, hoping to show the parents that she meant no harm. Slowly, one of the parent dragons tilted its head, its massive wings folding gracefully. It watched Lena with interest, eyes narrowing as if analyzing her intentions. The cubs chirped and flapped their wings in response, signaling their trust in Lena. "It's working," Lena whispered. "They're seeing me as part of their world, not a threat." The day passed in a rhythm of humming, exploration, and learning. Lena discovered that certain sequences of notes could influence the cub's energy in subtle ways, raising it when needed, lowering it when stress arose, and even calming the cubs during minor tremors caused by the station's distant engines. Yara took careful notes. "This human. She has created a method we could never have predicted. Emotional resonance, combined with rhythm. It is revolutionary." "Yes," Lena said, stroking a small golden-scaled cub that had curled around her arm. "And it works, because they trust me. It is not about control. It is about guidance." Late in the evening, the nursery quieted. The cubs rested, wings folded, eyes glowing faintly. Lena hummed a soft, final tune, letting it fade slowly into the air. The alien staff observed silently, awed by the harmony she had created. But the peace was not to last. Corin's team had made their move. Using advanced cloaking and stealth systems, they attempted to infiltrate the station. Their goal was simple: capture the cubs and remove them to their own station, claiming their energy for themselves. Lena sensed a disturbance in the energy flow. The cubs twitched nervously, wings lifting, tails flicking. She hummed a sharp, alerting tune, calling their attention. The cubs responded immediately, forming a protective circle around her. Their energy pulsed in unison, glowing brighter and stronger than before. "Something is coming," Lena whispered. "Stay calm, but be ready." Yara looked alarmed. "They are trying to infiltrate the station?" "Yes," Lena said. "But the cubs will help me protect it. We are stronger together." The intruders attempted to breach the nursery's defenses, but Lena's connection with the cubs proved stronger than their technology. The dragons responded instantly to her cues, emitting energy pulses that disrupted the intruders' devices without harming anyone. The intruders stumbled back, startled by the coordinated energy output. Lena hummed, guiding the cubs' response with precision. One golden cub leapt forward, releasing a focused energy pulse, while a blue cub flapped its wings to create a gentle shockwave. The intruders, realizing they could not compete with a human-coordinated team of dragons, retreated, their plans foiled. The nursery was safe. Lena knelt among the cubs, exhausted but proud. "Good job, everyone," she whispered, her hum soft and comforting. The cubs chirped in response, settling down once more. Commander Rin entered, expression filled with both relief and admiration. Lena, you have not only protected the station, but also demonstrated something extraordinary. Humans are not just engineers, they are connectors, leaders, and guides. You have changed everything we thought we knew. Lena smiled gently, brushing a small cub's head. Yara nodded. And it is more powerful than any technology we possess. As the day ended, Lena looked out at the parent dragons hovering outside the nursery. Their eyes glowed, reflecting curiosity and a growing trust. She hummed a soft, melodic tune, letting it flow gently into the air. One of the parent dragons tilted its massive head and lowered itself slightly, acknowledging her presence. Lena realized something profound. The bond she had created with the cubs was only the beginning. The parent dragons were watching, learning, and judging. If she could gain their trust, humans and dragons could coexist in ways no one had ever imagined. This is just the start, Lena whispered to herself. We can learn from each other. We can work together. And maybe, just maybe, humans can play a greater role in this galaxy than we ever thought. The cubs chirped softly, tails flicking, wings brushing against Lena as if agreeing. She hummed a quiet tune, feeling their energy pulse in harmony with her own heartbeat. Trust had been earned. Bonds had been formed. And humanity had proven once again that patience, understanding, and empathy were as powerful as any technology in the universe. Outside, the stars shimmered. The station was safe. The cubs were calm. And somewhere high above, the parent dragons watched, waiting, curious, and ready to test the next stage of this extraordinary connection. The adventure was far from over, but Lena Carter had already proven one undeniable truth. When humans listened, learned, and led with care, they could achieve the impossible. The sun of Kalara rose over the horizon, casting soft lavender light across the orbiting station. The dragon nursery was calm. The cubs moved freely, wings fluttering lightly, tails brushing the floor, eyes glowing with curiosity rather than fear. Lena Carter sat among them, humming a gentle melody that had become second nature. The parent dragons hovered outside the nursery, massive and majestic. Their eyes glowed softly, reflecting interest and caution. Lena could feel their energy resonating with the cubs, pulsing through the nursery walls, testing boundaries, and evaluating trust. She knew this was the moment that mattered. If the parent dragons accepted her presence, humans and dragons could begin a partnership that had never existed before. Lena stood slowly, humming a confident tune. She took a deep breath and stepped toward the window, raising her hands in a peaceful gesture. The cubs followed her cues, chirping in small patterns, their wings flaring softly. Lena matched their rhythm, weaving her hum into their energy, forming a melody that was both soothing and inviting. One of the parent dragons tilted its massive head, wings folding slightly. The cubs chirped louder, as if introducing Lena to their parent. Lena hummed, responding to the dragon's subtle vibrations, matching its energy with her human melody. Commander Rin and the alien staff watched in awe from the control room. She is communicating, Yara whispered. Not just with the cubs, but with the parents. Human intuition. It works on a level we never imagined. Lena felt a thrill of hope. She stepped back slightly and let the cubs take the lead. They chirped and flapped in a coordinated rhythm, the energy flowing through their small bodies into the station's conduits. The parent dragon hovered closer, responding with slow, deliberate pulses. Lena's hum adjusted, rising and falling to match the dragon's patterns. Slowly, the massive creature lowered itself near the nursery window, wings folding elegantly. Its glowing eyes studied Lena carefully, assessing her intentions. Lena's voice remained calm and steady, her tune gentle, resonant, full of care. The cubs chirped a joyful melody, tails flicking and wings flapping in excitement. The parent dragon shifted, acknowledging Lena's presence. A quiet hum resonated through the station. The first connection between human and dragon. This is incredible, Commander Rin said. She has bridged species in a way no one thought possible. Lena crouched among the cubs, letting the parent dragon watch closely. One cub nuzzled her hand, chirping happily. Another leapt onto a small platform, sending a soft energy pulse toward the parent. Lena mirrored it in her hum, forming a pattern that spoke trust and cooperation. The parent dragon responded, emitting a low, melodic hum of its own. Lena matched the tone, creating harmony between human and alien. The cubs joined in, creating a chain of synchronized energy, each pulse flowing seamlessly into the next. "It's working," Yara whispered. "They recognize her as part of their world." "Yes," Lena said softly. "We can work together. Humans, dragons. We can share knowledge and energy safely." Suddenly, an alert blared through the station. Sensors detected a small meteor fragment heading straight toward the nursery window. Lena's heart skipped a beat. She looked at the cubs and parent dragon. "Stay calm," she whispered, humming a steady, guiding tune. The cubs responded immediately. Their energy pulsed through the conduits, creating a protective shield around the nursery. The parent dragon flared its wings slightly, adding strength to the energy flow. The meteor fragment struck the outer energy field and shattered harmlessly, leaving the nursery untouched. The alien staff let out a collective sigh of relief. Lena smiled, breathing deeply. "We're stronger together," she said quietly. "Trust, guidance, and cooperation." The day continued with lessons, exploration, and bonding. Lena observed the cubs closely, learning their unique preferences, personalities, and subtle energy patterns. She discovered that each cub had a specific way of contributing to the station's energy conduits. Some emitted pulses in quick bursts. Others created steady flows, while a few responded best to human cues. Lena hummed softly as she guided them. She realized that by listening, observing, and adapting, humans could maximize the cubs' energy safely and effectively. The alien staff began taking notes, fascinated by the method. "They are intelligent," Yara said, "not just instinctive creatures. They understand rhythm, emotion, and guidance." "Yes," Lena replied. "And humans can connect with that intelligence in ways machines cannot. We are not just mechanics. We are teachers, guides, and partners." The parent dragons began hovering closer each day, observing Lena's interactions with the cubs. Lena adjusted her hums, subtle tones and rhythms that conveyed respect, patience, and understanding. Slowly, the parent dragons responded, their energy harmonizing with the cubs and Lena. One morning, Lena noticed a unique pattern. The parent dragon's hums formed sequences, almost like instructions. She mirrored them, humming softly, and guiding the cubs to respond in kind. The cubs followed perfectly, creating a combined energy flow that stabilized not only the nursery but the entire station. "This is incredible," Rin said. "Humans are not just observers, they are catalysts. Your methods could redefine our understanding of alien life." "Thence no." "Yes," Lena said quietly. "We just have to listen. Every creature has a voice. We just need to find it." The cubs chirped in approval, tails flicking happily. One leapt onto Lena's shoulder, nudging her gently. She laughed softly and hummed a playful tune, guiding the cubs' energy with ease. The parent dragons hovered nearby, wings spread, observing and learning. Days passed, and the bond grew stronger. Lena taught the cubs to respond to subtle cues, and in turn, they taught her patterns and rhythms she had never imagined. The parent dragons learned from her methods, and soon, they allowed the cubs to leave the nursery under her supervision, exploring the station in coordinated harmony. Commander Rin addressed the station staff. "We have witnessed something extraordinary. Humans, through patience and understanding, have connected with a species we could not control. This is more than science, it is the beginning of a partnership." Lena nodded, sitting among the cubs as they chirped and hummed around her. "It's about trust," she said. "We must respect them, guide them gently, and listen to their needs. That is the key to working together." The parent dragons, now fully observing Lena and the cubs, slowly descended into the nursery. Their massive forms radiated energy, but there was no fear, no aggression. They watched Lena closely, wings folded, eyes glowing with curiosity. Lena stood, extending a hand. She hummed a welcoming tune, soft and steady. The parent dragons responded with a low, resonant hum of their own. The cubs chirped and flapped in excitement. Energy pulsed through the nursery in perfect harmony. "This is it," Lena whispered. "We can do it together." For the first time, humans and dragons shared a coordinated energy flow. Lena's hum guided the cubs amplified it, and the parent dragons matched the rhythm. The station's energy conduits glowed steadily, stronger and more stable than ever. Yara and Rin exchanged astonished glances. "This is a new era," Yara said. "Humans and dragons working together. The possibilities are endless." "Yes," Lena agreed. "We can learn from them, and they can learn from us. Together, we can achieve more than any of us imagined." The cubs chirped happily, tails flicking, wings brushing gently against Lena. The parent dragons lowered themselves further, acknowledging the human who had earned their trust. Lena hummed a final, melodic tune, letting it flow through the nursery and into the station's conduits. The energy pulsed in perfect harmony. Outside, the stars shimmered, reflecting on the calm surface of Kaelara's atmosphere. The station was safe, the dragons were content, and humans had proven once again that patience, understanding, and empathy were as powerful as any technology. Lena smiled softly, brushing a small golden-scaled cub. "This is just the beginning," she whispered. "We can work together, learn together, and explore the universe together." The cubs chirped in agreement, the parent dragons hummed softly, and the station glowed with a new energy, one that symbolized unity, trust, and cooperation. And for Lena Carter, the human mechanic from Earth, it was the beginning of an adventure unlike any she had ever imagined. A story of humans and dragons, together, in harmony.